All right, here we are again for another boxing corner. How's it going, John?
There you go, boxing corner. Good,
We are
David. How you
back.
doing?
I
Yeah,
am doing good. I am doing good. In front of the camera this time, right?
right. There you go. He's a man.
Special
He's the man
occasion.
behind the camera. Now he's in front of the camera.
Special
Well, we got to.
occasions call for it, because we got a great fight coming up.
This is the fight.
I mean, probably the best fight of this year. And
The best
we've
fight
had a
maybe
heavy.
that we've had in a couple of years. I mean, there's a lot of excitement about this.
I mean, this might actually be the last great fight of this era.
Yeah. Oh, you don't see any other fights coming up?
I mean, I mean, a lot of these boxers that we have nowadays that are at the top, they're running the end of their careers.
Yeah,
So the new era of boxers is going to be coming around.
right.
And the fight that we're talking about today, I mean, I don't think you're going to have a better matchup.
No, well, the records and the amount of time these guys have been fighting with all the belts that they both held and they still hold these belts. Um, with Crawford, he has what a couple belts that to his name right now. Now he hasn't fought up in
Yeah.
this type of weight division before. They're both about the same size. Crawford has a little more reach, but he must be small bone because what there's like a quarter of an inch size difference, and I know that. I mean, I'm soaking wet. I'm 150, small boned, and for him to go 168, he's got to be big bone, I would say.
Yeah.
Uh,
So we're talking about the Canelo
Canelo,
Alvarez versus Terence Crawford fight. It's going to be this Saturday, September 13th in Vegas.
Vegas.
In Vegas.
Yeah,
So it's going to be
in Vegas.
one way stop of placing your bet and going to the fight, right?
Outdoors. No. It's a big stadium.
Big
God,
stadium, yeah, the Allegiant Stadium. So I mean, that place should be packed.
yeah, I'm
Like I said,
surprised it's
I mean,
not in
there's people
Caesar's
that have been
Palace.
wanting to see this fight for a long time.
Right.
People
So,
have been predicting because, like you said, they're very similar, in their height, in their reach,
yeah.
almost similar.
Craw-
Slight differences. They've always
Crawford's
been in
never
different
been
weight
beaten.
classes.
Never
Never
been
been
beaten.
beaten.
What is
No,
it?
41 and 0.
41 and 0.
41
Wow.
and 0. I mean, so this
Yeah.
it could be his first loss.
Yeah. Uh,
I
he,
mean,
he,
well, let's say this. I don't think he's gone up against opponent with the talent and the elite status as Canelo before.
right.
I'm not shaming anyone he's gone against in the past. It's just Canelo Alvarez is another level.
Yeah. Canelo and having a good chin. Um, Canelo, 35 years, no, 37 years
Oh,
old.
Crawford is 37, Canelo is 35. Yeah.
Canelo's the younger one.
No,
Okay.
you know, well, younger in age, but he's
Yeah,
got like, 26 more fights, and that's
right.
fights that are actually, recorded. I mean, Mexican boxers,
Yep,
they
they
might go
do.
down south and put out a bunch of fights that aren't even on the books. So, I mean, he's got more wear and tear on
Well,
his
not
body
not at
from
the
that.
champion level. Not at the champion level like he's
I
at. You
mean,
know what I
wear and
mean?
tear is wear and tear.
Yeah.
I mean, you can go
Yeah.
outside and twist your ankle. I mean,
Yeah, but Canelo, he hasn't been taking too much damage, especially in the past couple of years. He really hasn't fought a quality contender, like this.
yeah, he's
Um,
been very selective, very selective. You're right. Yeah.
and Terrence is one of those people, like we've been talking about, that can really slip and slide, and he goes from southpaw, his natural southpaw, to righty. I mean, and moving around and not letting Canelo corner him. Corners, he needs to be able to. Canelo needs to be able to really cut off the ring on this guy and keep him from doing it. And Crawford's the type of guy that nobody's been able to do it. you
Yeah.
know, so
And
he'll
that's the funny thing. It's going to be a tough one for Canelo. Like I said, he's
yeah.
been very selective on who he fights, especially even the last couple of years.
Those are the type of
He's
people. Yeah.
going up against someone who actually is almost his pure counter. Someone who
Mhm.
can actually move in the ring really well. He's very
Yeah.
slick. He's a lefty, you know. He's someone who can actually, adapt, halfway through the match. He's like, it's almost like Canelo is taking this fight to put a stamp on his either at the end of his career saying, I still belong,
Yeah.
or like I still got it. Kind of like
Yeah.
that thing. People might have been talking, you might be hearing some things. People catch on really quickly when you start taking selective fights because there are people out there that are, challenging Canelo Alvarez probably all the time.
Hmm.
And he's probably getting questions like, why aren't you taking this fight? Why aren't you going against, Caleb Plant or something like
Right.
that? Pulling out all these names that is like, okay, why aren't you going against them? You're going up against these, younger guys, got less experience. You're giving them the opportunities, but Canelo's been on top, for a while.
Yeah.
It's like it's a great opportunity for those guys, but how much of a challenge is it for him at this point? As long
I
as he's
wonder
got the
if,
steam, right?
yeah, if Canelo, I mean, he's going to have to muscle him around a little bit, Um, and when he goes to make those moves and get around, uh, so
Yeah. Yeah, he's got to watch those angles. Crawford loves to like be very selective. He's very patient. You know, he he he's not like a big bruiser, like Canelo is. He picks his angles, he watches for that, then he jumps on him,
and
right?
he's very, very smart. He also sets things up. He's got an ability to see a weakness and be able to do things to take advantage of that. And then, like you said, talking about him earlier, he's the type of guy that uh, makes mid-fight adjustments very well. And unless Canelo can take advantage of, his counter on what's going on, maybe hurt him, and then take him out, because I think that's a good chance. But he's going to have to hurt him early, or hurt him and then stop and then be able to take him out. Because if he can't hurt him, he's going to be able to move and get away, and
Yeah, and
and
Canelo kind of runs out of steam every now and then. I mean, not saying
yeah,
that he gets tuckered out and then those last few
yeah,
rounds, he's in danger, but he like you said, he likes to jump on his opponents early,
right,
and when he jumps on them, he usually goes in and goes for those body shots and get a lot of them, early on. He wants to end it early,
yeah,
and by
yeah.
the end, it seems like it's not as much as gusto. He plays more of the defensive. He plays more of, let me just secure a point, and let me
Hmm.
like secure my punches. Let me secure, and let the judges decide, from later on.
Yeah, I wonder if that could not be maybe part of Canelo's. Because when he comes out, I mean, the guy's going to be fresh, and getting away from him is going to be easy. So if you're expending all this energy trying to track him down in that first and second round, I would almost back off a little bit and not chase him so much, knowing that he's going to be able to maneuver and get him to settle down a little bit, and then go after him. I'm just talking
I
as a guy
mean,
from it. You know,
I've seen
uh,
some matches, boxing matches, where they like, stay apart from each other for a solid minute in the ring. It's like, okay,
yeah,
someone's gonna
sometimes,
have to move in. Someone's either gonna have to move towards them, or
right.
nothing's really gonna happen. But then
Yeah.
I
But
doubt these two are gonna be like that. I mean, like
this,
I said, this is a big fight,
yeah.
a lot of eyes on them. They're not
Uh,
gonna just stand there in the ring for a minute just staring at each other.
I don't, yeah, no, these guys aren't like that. That's not going to happen. They're going to swing, but Crawford's got to pick his spots.
Yeah,
Like we talked about before, Crawford's a knockout puncher, but Canelo is a guy that can take a punch. And moving up weight classes like that, it's even harder for him unless he really catches them clean. But even then, Canelo could probably take it, and then he might sit there and try to swing with him, and that might be his big downfall.
yep,
So
yep.
if I mean
Yeah, you
Crawford,
talked about the weight class. It's like this isn't the first time Terence Crawford has moved up. He moved up to 154 weight, and
yeah,
even though he won his matches, You can see that he for the first time he looked human. He didn't look like
Hmm.
superhuman like he was and dominant at the
Right.
lower weight classes. So now he's moving up two weight classes to 168.
Now I wonder what weight he's fighting at. So he didn't put on muscle to get to that weight. He's probably fighting at a lower weight.
I mean,
He
I
didn't
hope he
put
put on some muscle.
well.
If you're just jumping, 10, 15 pounds and it's all
Yeah, but
fat or
the
body
muscle could
mass.
hold you back on your speed. This is what I'm saying. Speed beats power, or that's what
Yeah,
I've
well,
been
see,
taught. But
muscle weighs more than fat.
right.
So it doesn't take too much muscle to actually give up. So I'm assuming he put on like half and half, put on a little bit more muscle because you don't just want to
Hmm.
put on, just fat and body mass for water
No,
weight.
no, it's got to be muscle weight.
You
Yeah,
got to put on some muscle on there.
these guys are
And
in,
like
yeah,
I
top
said,
shape.
168, Canelo, he's got an iron chin. A
Uh,
muscle that's at a 154 or the 147 that he was before, wherever like that. It's like, well, that might be not enough to actually break that chin. Right? I mean,
right,
so you got to have
right.
to put on a little bit more muscle. You got to put on a little bit more strength.
Yeah,
He hasn't had a match at that, official match at that, weight. So we haven't really seen how he actually reacts to someone like that.
he's never fought up that level.
I'm sure he sparred at that level, but
Yeah,
it's gonna be interesting. And
yeah. So
I'm going for Crawford. Yeah, I hope he does. It shows a lot that if he actually can do it. But it's a mountain that he's going to have to climb for sure.
yeah. This is a great fight. Dana White and Ring Magazine. It's for the Ring Magazine title because
For the
which is a
super
very
welterweight,
prestigious
yeah, yeah.
thing. Yeah, for their
Well, that's because I already think Canelo is the previous winner.
hmm.
And I think how the ring titles go, it's like if you come in and you beat the previous winner, you get that kind of like that ring title.
Right.
Which
Of
is
the new weight division. Yeah,
yeah,
they do it for
which
every
is a
weight division.
prestigious, award. I'm sure it might come with a little bit of money because you get on the cover of the magazine, and I'm sure they pay for that. But the big reward for this is the unified super middleweight titles.
Right.
And if Terence Crawford actually wins, he will be the only boxer in history to have unified titles from lightweight to super middleweight.
Wow.
So
That
I
would
think
be
that'll
huge.
be like three different
It's going to
unified
put
titles.
him in the legendary
Yeah,
status.
no one's ever done that before.
Legendary
And I
status.
think that's the reason. Well, it's got to be the reason why he wants it. It's like we said before, Crawford, the quality of boxers that he's gone on were good, but are they the great ones? When you think of like the great boxers, you don't really think of the boxers who are at those lower weights. That's just how it
Canelo has
is.
more to lose here than
Yeah.
Crawford.
I
Crawford has a lot
mean,
to win. Canelo has pride and yeah, a lot of pride, and he's got to put
especially
his foot
for
down here.
all right, we are back. And let's wrap this up. Let's talk about the keys of victory for each of these men because it is the closest thing to a coin flip that we have, recently. I mean, these are two great fighters, and they have their own strengths and weaknesses. So, what is Alvarez's keys to victory? What does he have to do to secure?
I think he's got to control the ring. He's got to cut off the ring, keep him from moving around, get inside, by uh, not letting him slip away. It's crafty when you fight somebody like that. But I mean, Canelo's been, and those are the people that have given him a hard time in the past. So I think he needs to muscle him a little bit. I don't know if that's his style. It might be. I mean, I know he's a great boxer. I haven't seen a whole lot of his fights. Um, but yeah, he might need to get a little bit, dirty with him, and cut him off or jam him, but Crawford, if you make a mistake with Crawford, he'll counter, he'll slip and get a clean knock on you, and then it's going to be who can hurt who first,
Right.
because they both have knockout power. But
Well, yeah, we haven't seen the knockout power at 168 from Crawford.
yeah, there,
And, at the weight class of 168, when you do make a mistake, like you said, you have real power behind that mistake. You
yeah,
have brutal power, that could actually knock your lights out.
yeah,
Um, so yeah, I agree. That's what, Canel's got to do. He's got to, got to stop that quick movement. Take that rein and cut it in half. You know, trap Canelo. Don't let him escape. You and use the entire ring. Shrink that ring to the size that Canelo can actually get him in close. Go for those body shots early.
yeah. That's one thing too. When he hits him early, he's got to hit him and let him know that, "Nah, dude, you got in the ring with the wrong guy,"
Yeah,
and that could change a lot in the match. It might make him, think less straight if he could knock him one, even a good body shot where he goes woof,
yeah.
and
And that's
then
what
and then
Canelo
it's
does
like,
really well is
okay,
work that body. Yeah.
and now he's got him on red alert.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah,
And for Crawford, he's going to have to use his movement. He's going to have to keep looking for those angles. I mean, I don't think he's going to be able to knock Canelo out. So he's going to have to just work those angles, get some good clean strikes in, steal those rounds, as many rounds as he can.
yeah.
Just take as many points as you can get. Don't get knocked out.
Now
Don't
you're
leave us
you're
there.
taking you're taking Canelo.
No, 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 no.
Oh, no, not Canelo. No, no, no. You're taking, yeah.
Yeah,
You're going the other way,
I think I'm going the other way.
right?
I mean, I enjoy watching both boxers.
Okay.
But I would love to see Crawford win this one, and I think that little
Okay.
bias is going to put me in. Like,
Wow.
I think Crawford's going to win this one.
Yeah.
It's not going to be pretty. It's going to go the length. It's going to go all
It's going
12
to go the
rounds.
distance, huh?
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I
Wow.
think
I
he's
think
going to
we're
be
going
able
to
to
see a
steal
great
enough
fight.
rounds.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's going to be a
And
great fight.
so,
How about you? What do
Vegas,
you think? Who
I
you
think it's
got?
going to be a great fight. I see Canelo maybe hurting him early. If it goes the distance, yeah, there's a chance it could be a draw or go
Now, this is going to be like,
Terrence.
like I said, I don't know much about, the judges and how they are. It's like, in other sports, referees, they're not supposed to have biases. But you do know there are some lingering biases. I mean, you look in the
Oh, boxing's
NBA,
horrible. Boxing's horrible. You don't have to tell
well,
me. I mean,
you look in the
it's a joke.
NBA,
It's been a joke.
LeBron James is going to get foul calls that no one else does just because
Yeah,
he's LeBron James.
yeah.
It's been like that since the time
Don't
will
get me
tell.
started on basketball now,
Now,
David, because I'll talk about the Rockets
well,
and
their
Harden
biases
going to
there.
the basket and not getting a
Now,
single foul in the second half. I don't care how many 3-point shots he takes. Not one foul. 21
yeah,
times to the
yeah. So
basket.
there's biases. Now, if
Yeah.
these refs and these judges in boxing just had the inkling of those referees and they have those biases, if there are close rounds, those biases might lead to, well, you got that superstar over there. You got that elite guy. Everyone knows Canelo. And so I'm
You
afraid
never
if
know.
it,
You never know where
I
the
don't think it's going to be a draw. If it's a
and,
draw,
and
someone edged,
the
for the superstar.
I mean, the right way to do a match like this too, and they're supposed to do this, I believe, where you get diversified judges. They're not all from wherever. This one's from there,
Yeah,
this
but
one's
they
from
all
there.
know
You get
boxing.
four
They all
four
know
different
boxing. They've
views.
all probably watched boxing and they've probably seen a lot of Canelo fights. And, Canelo's a big name.
Yeah,
Crawford, like I said, I'm not taking anything away from Crawford. He's a great fighter.
yeah,
But when you talk about even like, people who don't know a lot about boxing, they probably know who Canelo Alvarez is.
yeah, yeah.
And that
Big
little
problem.
bias, if it comes down to, I don't want it to be a draw. Let me give it to this guy. And if that happens, it's gonna go Canelo.
So what's Vegas saying, Dave?
Vegas is weighing on the side of Alvarez.
No,
Yeah.
60%, you said? Yeah.
He's
And
probably got, a 55% chance of winning,
55.
30% for
Vegas is
decision.
usually right, David.
No, they're not.
They're
No, they're
not in
not.
boxing, huh? All right.
I
And then
mean,
AI has it how?
well, the AI looks for like, the Vegas numbers and stuff like that. So it's not like it's computing its own numbers. It's just spitting out what it finds out on the internet.
Yeah, what
So,
kind of information? And like
yeah.
there's different AI computers.
I mean, the
Where's the AI
the betting
come from,
line
you know?
is on, like minus 160 something or 150 for Alvarez and like plus 150 for
Okay.
Crawford. So I
There you
mean,
go.
if you want to make a bunch of money, you bet on Crawford. Yeah. If you want to take the safer bet that everyone thinks is going to happen, and you go Canelo. And like I
Yeah,
said, I think that's just the bias talking. I think it's because you got that kind of home field advantage of being in 168.
right.
Crawford's a visitor here. He's first time. No one has seen him at 168. So the
Yeah,
people on the betters can't like go, I don't have any information, at that level, at that weight. I can't say that he's a guarantee, you know,
yeah.
even though if you look at the numbers and you look at the records and, you know, Crawford hasn't lost. So
41 and 0. Yeah,
if you're making a betting line and you have 41 and 0 with 31 knockouts, this guy wouldn't be an underdog.
not bad. Yeah.
You
But he's an
know?
old man at 37 compared to that young 35
No, man,
Canelo.
those 26 matches, I say 13 matches out of a year to like
That's 2 years right there. Dave has
that's
that
2 years.
down
So
two
they're the
years. All
same
right.
age, all right?
All right. We'll find out in the future here.
Yeah, this
Yeah.
Saturday we're gonna find out. So you're going Canelo, huh? You're
I'll
going.
go Canelo. Yeah. I mean,
Uh,
I wouldn't be upset if Crawford wins it and,
yeah, I wouldn't be
uh,
upset with either one of them wins it. Like I
yeah,
said, they're both great
I'm not.
fighters.
I'm
Crawford
excited to see
has
a great
more
fight.
to gain, though, for
Yeah.
sure. You know,
Yeah.
uh, it'd be great for him for the history books. It'd be great for
It's
for
great for
boxing.
boxing. I mean, boxing's big. People, well, I've been saying that for years and years now. Even when it wasn't, you didn't hear so much about it. Boxing was still big. It was just so diversified. Where you're getting a belt for everything going on now.
Yeah,
But still, the main belts, the WBA, the WBC, the IBF, and the WBO. Those are your main four belts
yeah.
that mean something. And of course, on the 13th, you got Ring Magazine. They're given, usually they give
They're
away
prestigious.
this they you don't fight for this title, or these two guys are fighting for it. So uh we'll see.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's gonna be a great fight. And hopefully Netflix has their live streaming service nailed down. I mean, the last fight I saw on Netflix was the Tyson Paul fight. You know,
oh, that was
it,
horrible.
even if you could watch it, it was so interrupted, and
Yeah, that was the most
I don't want to see
embarrassing thing.
that.
I don't even have to I can't even comment on that.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't know.
yeah. I'm not as
Can't
upset
even, I'm
about.
embarrassed for that. That's an embarrassment.
I'm not upset about not seeing that without, that clean streaming service, being
Yeah.
all interrupted because, like I said, it was embarrassment. It should never happen, to begin with. But this fight, it's like I want to see this fight. I want to see every second of this
Yep.
fight. I
Yep.
don't want to see,
Where are we going to watch it, David?
failed connection.
All right.
All right, so this Saturday, make sure you tune in to Netflix. I think the preliminary card fights are going to be on YouTube, and the main card fights are going to be on Netflix. So hopefully that'll help their servers not be too overloaded.
We're not covering it on Pathway to Glory and Boxing Corner. What?
I mean, we probably could, I'll be here, I'll be at my computer
Why don't we
watching
do
it.
a broadcast? Oh, you're gonna watch something? Yeah. Why don't we do a podcast and we can
I don't
talk our
think
way
we can
through it?
actually show it on our screens,
No,
but
we
we can
won't
talk.
show
We
it.
can do what we're
We'll
doing
just
right
talk
here.
about it right when it's going on.
Yeah, yeah,
Something to think
we can do
about.
that.
Let's do
Yeah,
it.
I'll
Yeah.
think about this week, and we'll
Yeah.
we'll let you
All
know.
right.
We'll put something up on there.
Crawford lover. No. Yeah. No. Yeah, let's
I'm
talk
going.
about
I'm
that, Dave.
going.
That'd be good.
All right,
Yeah.
John. So that
All right,
sounds
good.
good. Make sure we see y'all there, and if we do on
Yep.
we do a live cast, make sure you check us out on YouTube. I don't think we can do live on TikTok yet, but
Oh
we'll
yeah, not
see.
yet. We're getting there. All
We're getting
right.
there. All right,
Have a
John.
great day, everybody. Yep. See you next on the Boxing Corner Pathway to Glory.